Hi, I'm Richard Holcomb, and welcome to Who Rocks New Mexico. We'll see how the New Mexico Sinus Institute is changing the lives of New Mexicans who suffer from sinus issues. And we'll take a tour of the Indian Pueblo Cultural Center. Griffin & Associates has embraced new media and is seeing dramatic results for their clients. But first, let's meet Bob Farrell, publisher of the Business Resource Guide and My ABQ Guide.
Jason Mayer and myself, we worked for a national company out of San Diego doing military and chamber relocation guides, and we decided to start our own publication in Las Vegas for a niche that wasn't there and was serving all the business community. Everywhere that somebody moves, they really need a relocation guide to help them get acclimated to the new area. So we found it wasn't just Las Vegas that could use both of these type of publications, it was every major city that we went to.
In 2008 is when Bob kind of approached me about the idea of starting the Business Resource Guide, or starting a publication in general, and we kind of put together all of the experiences we'd had. Bob is very passionate about connecting people, and that's what makes him a great salesperson.
There are no other magazines that are specifically and uniquely about businesses. So we chose Business Resource Guide because it was a unique publication about businesses. Not only are we pleased with the Business Resource Guide, but during the Business Resource Guide, he also created My ABQ Guide. I'm not here to try to sell Bob. Bob sells himself. He is, what you see is what you get. We continue to advertise because we like the results.
I'd like to introduce you to Kathy Bomsey. She's our Director of Business Development. She's been with the company now for 2 years, just had her anniversary with us, and she does a great job of cultivating business in town.
One of my main tasks is to bring in new clients for Business Resource Guide and My ABQ Guide. I feel proud to stand behind both our publications. I feel proud to have my name on the masthead. I feel they're quality publications and that there's really nothing else like them in town.
You know, I clearly would recommend the Albuquerque Business Resource Guide for businesses looking to work with other businesses. I think it's an excellent way of reaching out to the business community here. So actually, with the relocation guide, we have used it for recruitment of employees that might be moving to town.
As an Air Force veteran, there are a lot of things that I hold dear to me, and one of the things I was doing while I was working here is trying to find what's really important to me, and I found this organization called Paws and Stripes, and they take care of military veterans as well as dogs and animals. They help save both of those.
Paws and Stripes is a nonprofit organization that provides service dogs to disabled veterans who are suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder as well as traumatic brain injuries. What Bob's told us is that he's found a spot in his heart for Paws and Stripes. To be quite honest with you, I have a lot of people that I bump into, especially in the Albuquerque area, that all of a sudden they see the Paws and Stripes truck and they're bringing up the whole, you know, we saw your article in the Business Resource Guide. And I was like, wow, okay, that's kind of cool. And then you start to realize that we would have never been able to touch these people if it wasn't for that publication. You know, life has a way of coming full circle. And with the help of Bob and the Business Resource Guide and the publication, we've been able to get out and really touch a lot more individuals as far as with what Paws and Stripes does and our mission statements.
Bob Farrell, the musician. I have been playing music my first time on stage. My father was a musician in the Boston area. It's my one release where I can say I'm away from work. I think about just music, and it's a wonderful thing.
Dreams I've always had are coming true. A heart that was alone now beats for two. A life I'll share with you till the end of time. Thank God it all came together to make you mine.
Every October, the American Heart Association holds its big gala event, the American Heart Association Heart Ball.
My name's Karen Smoot, and I'm the current chair of the American Heart Association.
Hi, and I'm Fran Bremen. I'm the incoming chair for the American Heart Association here in New Mexico.
Keith Steichen, and this is Samantha, Albuquerque Health Partners.
Dr. Warren Lasky, and this is my wife, Dr. Marianne Lucas Lasky. And professionally, I'm with UNM.
This is the Heart Ball. We have it annually, and I've attended probably for the last 5 or 6 years that we've had the Heart Ball. And it's an annual fundraiser for the American Heart Association.
They host it every year. They try to raise awareness of cardiovascular disease.
It's an important event because it finally gets people out to A, socialize, B, share their experiences, and C, just have a great time and remember what the Heart Association is all about.
Community involvement could be a little bit better. We like coming out for these kinds of events. We have this, we have the Heart Walk, and we also have Go Red for Women. That'll happen in February. So all these events, Jump Rope for Kids, all of these events just brings better awareness to New Mexico.
I'm a cardiac nurse. I work at UNM in the cardiology department, and I have family and friends with heart disease. And I think the heart is one of the most important organs in the body, and if we keep it healthy, we can keep the rest of the body healthy.
October 1st, 2009, I was going to the Tennis Club of Albuquerque for a lesson with Ocho. And we started hitting right at 9 o'clock for about 15 minutes. And we were practicing forehands, backhands, net game, so on and so forth. And about 15-20 minutes into it, he asked me to hit some serves.
So we were at the baseline. He was warming up serve, had a bucket of balls between us, and he was about on his 3rd to 5th serve.
And I walked back to the back line and just keeled over.
I didn't know what to do, so I ran into the pro shop and had them call 911.
I looked over and I saw Van laying on his back in the pros court and some people gathered around. So I asked anybody, we were playing in a foursome, I asked anybody there if they were a doctor, and no, there wasn't. So I ran over and I checked his, got straddle of him, I checked his airway and checked his, tried to get a heartbeat, and I could barely hear a heartbeat. His nose was turning blue, his lips were turning blue, and his ears were turning blue on the edges. So I started to compress him, and as I continued with that, I saw his lips starting to take color, his nose and his ears.
You know, Warren was just pumping away on my chest. The EMTs had a AED with them, and they were able to get my heart started. And then they put me in the ambulance and took me over to the University Hospital.
They called from the tennis club and they said, "Oh, Van has collapsed." And I was like, well, he didn't eat much breakfast this morning and he probably, you know, just fainted. And so then we hung up, and a few minutes later she called me back and she said, "No, he's really collapsed and the EMTs are on the way." And so I thought very quickly, and I was like, well, the only person to call, my first call was John Abrams, longtime cardiologist here at UNMH. And John had recently retired and was a very, very close friend, Van's tennis partner for 35 years. And my memory of it is John was just like, look, just sign the paper and he needs to go to the cath lab. Don't worry about anything, any other test.
Van came in with a ST elevation MI, the most serious kind of myocardial infarction. he had an abnormal electrical heart rhythm which caused his heart to stop, and that was a result of a 99% blockage of his artery that goes to the side of his heart. When he came to us, he was already resuscitated at the tennis court. So his heart was beating, but it clearly needed more evaluation and treatment by our catheterization lab.
We performed 2 procedures during that hospitalization. He came in and had a tight stenosis of a branch off the left artery, and a few days later we also put a second stent in another artery.
The next thing I remember is on Friday morning about 4 o'clock, waking up, and I looked down and I had a gown on. And I went crazy. I said, you know, what in the hell am I doing with this gown on? And my wife said, you had a heart attack. And I said, there's no way. You know, I am in good health, I exercise, I eat well, you know, all of those things. And she said, you had a heart attack.
The amazing thing about Van's story is that he had a perfect chain of care, from the tennis court to resuscitation and CPR to defibrillation, which is electrical shock to bring his heart back to normal rhythm out in the field, and then immediate care here at the University of New Mexico to open his artery.
I felt so helpless after this happened to Van that the club actually does host a CPR course, so the first one they had, I signed up.
CPR is extremely important. There's no way I'd be here today without the CPR.
I think it's worth everybody to learn to do this, especially now. It's so easy to do. You don't have to do the breathing and just get right with it, and I'm sure it saves many lives.
A side note to this is my mom and dad, before they passed away, gave me a little medallion. It was a guardian angel, so I just moved away and let everybody work and was rubbing and praying away, and anyway, Van made it, so I gave him that little medallion because it was his guardian angel.
You know, what has happened is that I've been given a second chance. So after 5 years, I am extremely happy. And I know there's something out there that I'm supposed to do, so I'm looking for that every day.
Up next, Griffin & Associates has embraced new media, and they're seeing dramatic results for their clients.
Hi, I'm Doug Wilson with American Tire and Service. Did you know any independent, reputable automotive repair center can provide factory scheduled maintenance under your new vehicle warranty? It's true, you don't need to go to the dealer. You know us, you trust us. So check your owner's manual for scheduled maintenance and let your guys at American Tire do the rest. Engine maintenance, transmission, tire rotation, any scheduled maintenance. American Tire and Service, your guys for all your vehicle maintenance and repairs. See us today.
Hi, I just saw Robert Wagner on television reading a script about reverse mortgages. You know, Robert doesn't know anything about reverse mortgages, but I do. Every month at Frost Mortgage, we loan hundreds of thousands of dollars to seniors to eliminate their mortgage payments for the rest of their lives. How much better would your life be if you didn't have a mortgage payment to make next month? If you're 62 or older, give us a call and we'll show you how this wonderful mortgage program works.
We'd like to invite you to First Tuesdays, a networking event created specifically for business owners and executives.
Giving you the opportunity to interact on a personal level with business people just like you.
Mark your calendar for every first Tuesday in 2014.
4:30 to 6:30 at Hotel Albuquerque's Q Bar for free hors d'oeuvres, happy hour cash bar,
And networking with fellow business owners and executives.
It's new, it's social, it's your opportunity to make new connections, build relationships, and share new ideas with your peers.
No pressure, no speakers, no roster, and no rules.
And name tags with first names only, so the focus is on you rather than your company.
It's First Tuesdays for business owners and executives, 4:30 to 6:30 at Hotel Albuquerque's Q Bar.
To register, visit firsttuesdaysabq.com. Be there!
Need office space? 3791 Southern Boulevard in Rio Rancho represents an outstanding value in office space in the heart of Rio Rancho's business district. With clean and versatile space available, 3791 Southern Boulevard is a 2-story office building and offers good visibility with signage opportunities for tenants. There's only one suite of up to 2,700 square feet still available, so act now. For more information, call David at 505-259-3706.
Looking for something fun to do in Albuquerque? Look no further. ABQ365.com is your resource for things to do in ABQ. From food and wine to local culture to sporting events, ABQ365 has something for you to do every day of the year. Check out the 365 days of events. Get out and enjoy all your city has to offer. Go to ABQ365.com to make your plans today. Griffin & Associates has embraced new media and they're seeing dramatic results for their clients.
So the world has moved to this device, and the stats are showing that by the year 2020, which is dangerously close, 6 years from now, over 85% of the world will be using this. And what that means is more and more people today are getting all their information. They're finding your business, they're finding your nonprofit, they're finding your event on a screen this size. So the world really has moved away from the PC and to the phone. So the first thing that every business needs to make sure is that their website is responsive and works well on a screen that is that small. So the last thing you want is people to have to sit there on their device and try to make it bigger so they can read it, because if it's too much trouble, guess what? They're going to be on to the next competitor.
So one of our smaller clients, Land of Enchantment Spine Surgery, in looking at all their Google Analytics, we were really able to get in there and determine that over 60% of all the searches to their site, their traditional display site, was happening through mobile devices. In response to that, we went ahead and built out a responsive site for Land of Enchantment Spine. And the site is an exact mirror of anything that you would be exposed to on the display side. You also can search it with your mobile device as well. And we've noticed since we went to the responsive site for Land of Enchantment Spine Surgery that traffic to the website has gone up. The number of pages viewed has skyrocketed, and then also the average site duration is well over 3 to 5 minutes.
Everything really is online today, and that is great news because we can hone in and target the exact audience that we're trying to reach. So in the old days when I was in school 30 years ago, it was all about reaching the masses. So advertising was all about how many millions of impressions are you getting, and you spent millions of dollars to reach those millions of people. Today we can hone in and reach the 1,000 people or the 100 people or the 10 people or the one person that you're wanting to reach, and you're only going to pay to reach that person.
One of the major tools that we've been using in the kind of new media world is Facebook advertising, LinkedIn advertising. What's really cool about those things is that they're highly targeted, and you're speaking to just the audience that you want to be speaking to. You can target by zip code, by city, by state. It's really neat, all the stuff that you can do now, and all of the analytics that Facebook has in the back end allows you to see what's working and what's not. One of the clients that we've had a lot of success with is the town of Taos. We have a sign up on their website. We also have a sign up at the visitor center so people can opt into the list. And we average about 15 to 20% opening rate with that, and probably 10% click-through rate.
So in today's world, the media is changing so quickly, and what I find for a lot of businesses and business people that I talk to is they're completely overwhelmed. They're stymied. It's like, oh my God, do I Twitter, do I Facebook, do I buy social media, do I get a responsive website, do I buy bathroom stall advertising? I'm just like, I don't know where to go next. So if you find yourself in that position, let us talk to you. We always give a complimentary consultation, can take a look at your business and your organization and help you sort through all the options and figure out what is the best plan for you.
Up next, we'll see how the New Mexico Sinus Institute is changing the lives of New Mexicans who suffer from sinus issues.
Six chefs, 3 courses, 1 winner. That's Duke It Out, a chef competition benefiting the children at El Ranchito de los Niños, a children's home in Los Lunas dedicated to keeping siblings together. Duke It Out will be held Wednesday, November 5th in the kitchens at Builder's Source Appliance Gallery on Manal. 5 judges will select the winner, and you'll get to sample the food they prepare. Relish the flavors of New Mexico with each chef's unique take on key ingredients. Peruse the kitchens of Builder's Source Appliance Gallery as you enjoy watching the chefs prepare their creations right before your eyes. A limited number of Duke It Out tickets are available at $50 each. For more information, visit elranchitonm.org and then mark your calendar for the big Duke It Out event November 5th. I'm Chris Schuler, your MC for this fun evening at Builder's Source Appliance Gallery. Join us as we Duke It Out for El Ranchito de los Niños. Hurry, get your tickets today.
Hi, I'm Michael Newman, host of New Mexico True Television, which airs immediately after Who Rocks. Here's a preview of what you'll see throughout the year on our show. Besides the ancient adobe structures of the Pueblo, Taos is also known for another architectural style, the Earthship. Rising up out of the ground, casting reflective light from recycled bottles and cans, taking on shapes like you've never seen before. These structures beg the question, what exactly is an Earthship? I head to the Earthship Visitor Center to find out.
Earthships are basically an autonomous home. It's 100% self-sufficient, off the grid. The building is made out of recycled materials, automobile tires, bottles, cans, cardboard. If it's blown around on the street, I'm out there picking it up.
More than 30 years ago, Ron's mentor and Earthship pioneer Michael Reynolds built the first Earthship, and now they may be found in all corners of the world. But Taos is where it all began, and people arrive every day to tour these homes and to see the progressive concepts at work, and to learn how to build an Earthship of their own. So whether you want to build your new homestead, or just tour this unique colony of the high desert, make the trip, and if you're lucky, stay the night. Earthships are available for rent, so you can experience their creature comforts for yourself. We are traveling all over New Mexico to show you all the great places to spend a few hours or a few days. Perhaps places you didn't even know existed in the land of enchantment. So join us in just a few minutes right here on KLB4, immediately following Who Rocks New Mexico, for another great episode of New Mexico True Television.
Hi, I'm Doug Wilson, the owner of American Tire and Service. Do you know what makes a great mechanic? Training is mighty important. Certification? You bet. But do you know what really makes a great mechanic? Heart. It's a passion that drives the mechanic to do the right thing every time. We've been helping people like you for over 25 years. We're locally owned and proud to serve you.
American Tire and Service on Highway 528 between Southern and Northern. The only guys for you.
What you don't need when it's time to close your mortgage is a nameless, faceless voice at the other end of a 1-800 number. What you do need is a licensed local loan officer who will attend your closing, sit with you and answer every one of the questions that you will surely have as you read and sign over 57 legal documents. At Frost Mortgage, we're licensed, we're professional, and we're local. We don't just close loans, we open doors.
The New Mexico Sinus Institute is changing the lives of New Mexicans who suffer from sinus issues.
Sleep apnea is a serious medical condition in which You stop and start breathing multiple times throughout the night. The tongue can actually stop the air from going into the airway and passing into the lungs. More than 18 million Americans suffer from obstructive sleep apnea. 90% of them don't even know it.
Oftentimes people think that sleep apnea really is just feeling tired and not sleeping well. But there's more serious conditions that sleep apnea can cause. The condition can actually lead to many illnesses, including heart disease, heart failure, stroke, diabetes, Alzheimer's, and in some cases even death. Oftentimes people that have sleep apnea think that they're excellent sleepers because they can fall asleep at any time, reading a book, watching TV, because their body is always tired.
Fortunately, there's a life-changing procedure that can reduce the size of the tongue, allowing air to pass freely. A series of 6 minimally invasive 15-minute procedures can make all the difference, even for those who require CPAP.
Many patients that I see rely on devices like CPAP, which can be really uncomfortable and cumbersome.
In fact, with the procedure, the RFA procedure, we can even reduce the flow of the CPAP machine, or for some patients, we can actually get them off of their CPAP machine. Plus, the procedure is covered by Medicare and many other insurances.
Why suffer from loud snoring and sleep apnea when one procedure can make all the difference?
Improve your sleep, your health, your life. Call or visit the New Mexico Sinus Institute today.
The Indian Pueblo Cultural Center is an exciting destination for tourists and locals. From our amazing cuisine to our ever-changing exhibits, events, and dances, you'll love every minute you spend with us. So let's take a look. The Pueblo Harvest Cafe will bring you back again and again for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Enjoy Native American foods, New Mexican favorites, and tempting drinks, all in a beautiful setting with live music on the patio every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday evening throughout the spring and summer months. For personal treasures and unique gifts, you'll enjoy the Shumakoloa Gift Shop. It's filled with traditional and contemporary arts and crafts by artisans from our 19 New Mexico pueblos. Our courtyard is home to Native American dances from various pueblos, every weekend year-round, providing you with amazing photo opportunities as you take in the sights and sounds you'll remember for a lifetime. Walk back through generations of history, art, and culture, dramatically brought to life in our lower-level museum. See pottery and artifacts dating back more than 1,000 years as you discover rich nuggets of information about early inhabitants of New Mexico. You can further explore New Mexico's Native American culture, history, and language in our permanent collections exhibitions, where you'll learn fascinating details about our 19 Pueblo tribes. You'll also enjoy our ever-changing Native American art, educational, and historical displays in the halls of our Avanu Gallery. You'll want to check our calendar frequently for year-round events and exhibitions, including arts and crafts shows, fashion show, and more, giving you more reasons to visit us here at the Indian Pueblo Cultural Center. Parking is free. Banquet and meeting rooms are available. Our Four Winds Travel Center is conveniently located on the grounds, and our Holiday Inn and Suites is just across the street. We invite you to explore, learn, enjoy, shop, and dine with us at this wonderful special place called the Indian Pueblo Cultural Center.
That's all the time we have this week on Who Rocks New Mexico. I hope you enjoyed the show as much as I enjoyed bringing it to you. And while you're out and about this week, if you see our men and women in uniform, stop them and be sure and thank them for their service. If you'd like more information on the folks you saw on today's show, check us out on the web at whorocksnm.com. Have a great week, everybody. We'll see you next week.